Hello, I'm Adwait, and on behalf of my co-authors, I'll be presenting our work SoloFinger. This is a joint work between Saarland University and the University of Copenhagen. Oftentimes, our hands hold a wide variety of objects and manipulate them based on the planned activity. However, gestural input techniques while holding objects are prone to false activations due to grip adjustment, natural finger movements, and various object manipulations. A recognizer might misinterpret these as input, leading to false activations. In this work, our goal is to avoid false activation for digital input while holding or manipulating everyday objects. Inspiring prior work in this direction has mainly focused on holding smartphones and for smartwatches with delimiting gestures such as flipping or pressing. However, these gesture designs would not generalize to everyday objects. For instance, while holding a coffee cup or using the air pump. In contrast to these device-specific delimiter gestures, which by the way would interrupt the primary activity if you are holding an object, our approach uses easy and rapid to perform single finger movements that are compatible with a wide range of everyday objects. More importantly, it is resilient to false activations. We used our observation and built two key assumptions. That finger either remain static or multiple fingers move concurrently during everyday hand object actions. And this creates a sweet spot for single finger movements that are unique and not present during everyday hand object actions. We call this concept as SoloFinger, a robust and easy gestural input technique to avoid false activation while holding objects. We confirmed our two assumptions by contributing peak score metric, which quantifies how strongly a single finger moves with respect to other fingers. In the graph, you may see that peak score for daily hand object actions is extremely low compared to SoloFinger gestures. The ease of single finger movement makes our concept generalizable on diverse grasp types and objects. Thanks to the dexterity of our fingers, multiple gesture variations can be created. For example, a designer can create the zigzag gesture for sharing a photo and swipe left for rejecting calls. We performed a series of data-driven analysis to validate our concept, which you may find in the paper. To give you a brief idea, we used an existing data set and compared it to our collected data set of SoloFinger gestures. Our extensive data set collected using OptiTrack is available to the research community. We performed our concept validation with 36 everyday hand object actions, representing a diverse set such as pouring wine, reading a letter, writing, and many more. Through a simple thresholding technique, we found no false activation for 23 actions in the large data set of everyday hand object actions. We discussed the actions wherein false activations occurred in more details in the paper. And later, we show a more sophisticated classifier that can eliminate false activation on such actions. Now let's move on to the deployment of our concept. While our concept can be realized using various sensing techniques, like objects augmented with high-resolution sensors, IMUs, or radar-based approaches, we used a commercially available VR glove. We collected a second data set with hand object actions and SoloFinger gestures. We used this data set and trained a multi-class classifier using random forest. We included 7 gesture variations and hand object actions. If the held object is known, we achieved an accuracy of 89% with no false activations. And if the object is not known, the accuracy is 86% and the false activation rate still remains low to around 2%. To summarize, we presented a novel concept that uses only one finger for gesture input while holding everyday objects. Through a series of analyses, we show our concept is resilient to false activation. And ultimately, we used the commercially available hardware and trained a multi-class classifier to show 7 gesture variations can be detected with very low false activation. Thank you.